Hi, I'm Jared from Lacework Labs, the security research team at Lacework. And today, we're going to go ahead and create a core dump of a running Linux process so we can go ahead and inspect the memory a little bit and see if there's any artifacts that might be prevalent to some research we're doing. Let's go ahead and get started. In our scenario, this particular binary has an encrypted configuration section. Now, I could spend a lot of time trying to identify the keys and IVs used to encrypt the data and then try to decrypt it and be able to pull this out. However, I also can just run the binary, dump the memory, and see the data that I want in plain text. In this scenario, just creating a core dump will allow us to see those plain text artifacts. In other cases, you may have to take the time to recover those keys in order to decrypt the configuration properly. Now let's talk about what a core dump is. A core dump is a file containing the address space that is the memory of a process that is terminated unexpectedly. If you're a developer, you've probably dealt with core dumps from applications that have crashed or even maybe a kernel that's crashed. However, in this specific use case, we're going to leverage a Linux utility called gcore, which will allow you to create a core dump of a running process without actually crashing the process itself. And then from there, we can go ahead and do a little bit of triage on the strings within the binary and see if there's anything of interest to us. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my terminal. We see I have a binary here called pwnrig. When I run it with the -h flag, it's actually going to run it as a process proc. And here, I'll go ahead and highlight that for us. So we see that it is in fact running. Now, I'm going to run gcore followed by the PID of the process, and I've just created a core dump of pwnrig. Now I'm just going to go ahead and run strings to get all the ASCII printable strings. I'm going to redirect that to a file called here so I can quickly scroll through the file and see if there's anything of interest. I killed the process, and immediately after opening the file, we see what looks like potentially a wallet. We see some interesting things from hostname, username being used. It looks like there was an embedded bash script. There's a domain. A lot of information immediately gained from just dumping the memory of the process by creating a core dump versus going through all the trouble of actually decrypting the internal config. Now again, in this case, this works great. In other cases, we might actually have to do a little bit more legwork and find those keys, find those IVs, etc. to perform the decryption. But with all that being said, really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and follow us on our social medias for more stuff like this. Thanks.